Welcome back to this channel, co-creators. I'm mysticrainn, your resident internet psychic medium and spiritual advisor, and today I've got a lot on my mind. So before we jump into this video, if you want to get in contact with me for a spiritual life coaching session, a tarot reading, or you just want my time for a spiritual hour so you can ask me spiritual questions, the links for all those consultations are in the description box below. Also, I am now doing a 40% off romance-related astrology sale. So if you want to know what's in the heavens for you and your loved one, or for that person that you want to be your loved one, check out the description box below for all of those astrology reports. So this was a very interesting video in a sense that it is very unplanned. I got a massive download last night and then woke up and then was like, you got to record this. I had zero plans on doing another prediction video. It was not my intention whatsoever. In my mind, I was like, I said what I said and I'm done. But there's a lot that's happening, and it was such an intense download that I had to write it all down because I knew I was going to forget about it. And it was so intense that I knew that I had to get that information out quickly, and that it couldn't be a video that I would record, edit, and then bank or schedule for like weeks later, because I know that so much of this stuff is going to start happening within the next few days. And if I waited, it was going to be a situation where it was like, mysticrainn, that already happened. And that happened with my previous prediction video. That video was pre-recorded way before you guys saw it. By the time I had posted it, things had already started happening, and people were like, mysticrainn, that happened already. And I was like, it didn't when I recorded the video. So now it's a situation of record, edit, post immediately, even outside my normal video schedule. So I highly suggest, or hope anyway, that you are in a fairly decent mental state right now, or emotional state. If you're not in a good emotional state, I would suggest that you pause the video and then come back, or go get a glass of wine, or at a minimum, ghost it down, because this is kind of heavy. It's a little heavy. Even when I was getting the downloads, I was like, Spirit, are you sure? But Spirit was like, it's going to happen. So first, let me remind you with the energies that we're working with, right? We have begun the new age in Aquarius, right? So we're dealing with new innovation, new technology, and information. Those are the energies that we are actually going to be working with, okay? So all businesses are going to start shifting to online. Even if COVID wasn't an issue where it forced businesses to go online, they would have shifted online anyway, just because of the dawn of the new ages and planetary alignment and kind of the energies that we're working with as a collective. But everything is now going online. This means that the economy is now going online. And this is a big deal considering the fact that so much of our economy is transactions through the internet, that it's going to be a situation where now it's going to rely on the internet for massive transactions and for government economies. It's going to be very, very, very important. This is how money is going to move. Because of this, we're going to start doing away with cash. Now, this is already something that we are starting to see, but it's going to take a step further in a sense that like governments are going to start redistributing like wealth, or governments are going to start redesigning economies in order to fit a purely digital economy, okay? And so this is going to be something that you're going to see as a really big push, particularly in the United States, because the United States is actually kind of behind on that. A lot of other countries have done a lot of big pushes in that direction anyway. A lot of other countries are very sort of technologically advanced, way more so than the United States are. The United States hates to see it. We really do. We hate to see it because propaganda in this country makes people believe that in the US it's like highly developed, but when you leave this country, you will see that it could do a lot better than what it is currently doing. So you're going to see this be a massive push in the United States to move over, okay? But the issue with this push is that because we are now in a new age of information and also technology and also innovation, and that energy is fighting with Saturn, and then that dynamic is being expanded by Jupiter, because remember the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction that happened back in December of 2020 December 21st of 2020, that energy is going to be a big energy in 2021 because those planets are still sitting in Aquarius. They have not moved yet. They are very slow moving planets. So that energy is going to be exacerbated in the year of 2021. So I'm saying all of that to say that one thing that you're going to have to start looking out for is fraud. I need you guys to get in a daily habit of checking your bank account. I know some of you guys are going to watch this and you're going to be like, I do that every day. Good. Keep it up. There are some of you that are going to watch this and feel attacked because nobody wants to be reminded of how much money does not exist in their bank account. But I need you to get into the habit of checking your bank account. I would rather there be $2 in your bank account than you check your bank account and you've got negative 36 because you got hit with one of those overdraft fees. Make sure you are in a daily habit of checking your bank account every single day. Fraud is going to be a big deal. Everything is going to run through the internet. So we're going to have hackers that are now going to be way more savvy than they have ever been, way more innovative than they have ever been. Information is going to live on the internet. It's going to be more of it on the internet, and they're going to be snatching it and getting it any which way they can. So make sure that you are enabling all two-factor authentication, which, by the way, is going to go. That's not going to be something that's going to stay long-term because it is not as reliable as people have predicted or have hoped that it would be. You're going to notice that people are going to start moving towards using authenticator apps, which they are already starting to do, but there's going to be a new technology that's going to come out that's going to be better than like an authenticator app. I don't know what that technology is, but it's going to happen. But until we get there, you have to at least at a minimum start with that two-factor authentication. I know a lot of you don't feel like you don't have the time to hook it up to your cell phone number, but please hook it up to your cell phone number. Fraud is going to be a very, 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 very big deal, okay? So make sure your funds and your finances are protected. Make sure that you are always changing your passwords. I understand that this is something that people don't want to do either because it's laborious, and I get it, but make sure you are changing your password all the time. Make sure it's not similar to a previous password that you've had, and the whole spiel that you would normally get anyway. It's going to be very important in 2021. People are going to be getting into each other's stuff. People are going to be hacking. People are going to be stealing. Fraud is going to be a big, 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 big issue. So another thing about this, I want you guys, if you can, to try to find another alternative than something like a Cashapp. I use Cashapp. I am heartbroken. When I got this download, I was like, I really don't want to do away with Cashapp because people pay me through Cashapp. And for a lot of people, it's their only method of funding or it's the easiest. And in my head, I was like, well, I don't want to lose that money, right? But Cashapp is going to have a very big problem in the year of 2020 when it comes to fraud and people hacking into other people's accounts and spending their money. And the thing is, Cashapp has already had this issue. They've done a really good job of keeping it under wraps, but it's going to be a thing where people are going to be breaking in. So if you can find another method that's not Cashapp and come off of Cashapp and remove your card details from Cashapp, remove your bank account information from Cashapp, and just completely move to a different service. If you are in a position where you can do that, I would suggest that you start using something else and you come off of Cashapp. For people who are starting online businesses, because I'm still harping on about this fraud thing because it's going to be significant, a lot of times when you buy new domains, you are given options of paying more money for heightened levels of security for websites. Going forward, if you are in a position where you can afford to pay that extra money for extra security on your website, I suggest that you do that and you make sure all your websites are encrypted. Make sure that you have an HTTPS, right? Make sure that you have that S there and you've got that little lock that's in those domains. Make sure you have one of those websites. I'm saying this specifically because when you're a new business owner and you're starting websites, sometimes you don't know what that means, particularly if someone doesn't even point it out to you as an option. Sometimes you feel like no one's looking at you. Maybe you feel like you're not making enough money, that nobody would care or anything like that. It does not matter because fraud is going to be a big deal. Make sure that you're locking everything and that you're encrypting everything the best way that you can lock and encrypt, okay? Okay, so I'm looking at my notes. So cryptocurrency is a thing. And I feel really called to say this out loud. If you are not good at maths, do not think that cryptocurrency is going to be the way that you are going to get rich. Only do cryptocurrency if you understand maths, if you understand statistics, and you understand trends. If you can look at a graph and predict what it's going to do in an hour, then by all means, go do cryptocurrency. If you do not have the ability to do this, please do not think that this is going to be your way of making money or exiting the system. The reason why, okay, I understand that crypto is having a moment of high right now. But the thing is, we have to consider the fact that a lot of people have lost their jobs, and people at the moment are looking for ways to flip their money or flip the money that they do still have and to keep it turning over because they don't have resources anywhere else. So take that energy of quickness, that energy of panic, that energy of desperation, and put it into the market. If you enter that market, what energies do you think you're playing with? I also have to tell you that crypto is going to have a lot of plunges. There will be a lot of highs in crypto and a lot of plunges in crypto in 2021. A lot of highs, a lot of plunges. The highs are going to be historic and they're going to be record breaking. And the plunges are also going to be historic and they're going to be record breaking. And it's, instead of looking like a graph where it's a wave, it's going to look sharp like a mountain. And so if you are someone that has a set of balls that are heavy enough to deal with that level of uncertainty and the math skills required to deal with that level of uncertainty, by all means, do you, boo. I don't want to go rain on your parade. But if that is not you, I would not suggest that you look at right now being a time to go into cryptocurrency. Also, I do sense that there's going to be a multi-government crackdown on cryptocurrency. For a few reasons. One, you're going to see a rise in cryptocurrency, not because it's the new hottest thing, but because, again, Jupiter, Saturn conjunct in Aquarius, right? We've got innovation, we've got technology, we've got information, and we've got a situation where the economy is going to be purely digital at some time. And so it's not surprising, or that it shouldn't be surprising, that we're now looking at digital currency, right? Which is what that's cryptocurrency. But because of this, governments are now going to try to crack down on it, and they're going to try to enforce rules and enforce new regulations on cryptocurrency. The issue for governments when it comes to cryptocurrency is that you can't track it. You can't track transactions, which is why it did so well on the dark web before everybody jumped into it, right? So, but because the government is now seeing that so many people are making money off of crypto, they're going to try to figure out how to tax it. And if they can't tax it, they're going to figure out a way to regulate it. When this happens, there will be a new digital currency that comes out that will have a way of bypassing the government. The government will find it, and then the government will do the same thing to that one, and then people will stop using it, and then the government, and then there's going to be a new group of people that will create a new one. The government will find it, people will stop using it, and then there'll be a group of people that create a new one. The government finds, people stop using, new one created, government finds, people stop using. It's going to be cyclical, right? That energy is also going to contribute a lot to the sharp ups and the sharp downs. When the government tries to get their hands on it, or there's government talk about it, then it's gonna drop, right? And then there's gonna be a new crypto that's gonna be coming out. I do sense that this is going to be a phenomena of the era, not necessarily of 2021, because again, where the planets are alignment, we're dealing with information, we're dealing with technology, we're dealing with innovation, and an economy that's turning into going to be a purely digital economy. And so this is always going to be a product, but there will be a multi-government crackdown on cryptocurrency. There's making money, as by the way, and this is probably going to be one of the few happy things about this video, except for me like lecturing you hardcore, right, is going to be the fact that money is going to be easier to make on the internet. Now, this does not mean that you can like create an OnlyFans and then post one photo and then all of a sudden you're going to have all this money. There's going to be, we have to look at energy too, and like how we can work with it, in the sense of, I'm not someone that likes to live in victimhood, and I don't like enabling other people to live in their own victimhood. I'm very much the type of person that's like, okay, we have a problem, how do we fix it? And if we can't fix it, you better bet damn well that I'm going to find a nice cushy pillow to sit upon and make myself comfortable while I have to go through something, if that is the way it must be, right? So because it's going to be a digital economy, it's going to be easier to make money through the interwebs through online than it would be to make money in person or to try to open a brick and mortar, which actually, sidebar, outside of the brick and mortar, because this is something that's coming to me now, if you had plans to open a brick and mortar shop after COVID went away, let that go, figure out now, because now you have time, figure out how you can turn whatever business idea that was that you had into a fully online business, because that's dead, okay? So, making money online is going to be easier just because of the energies that we're going to work with is going to be a lot more effortless energetically to make money online. That's where everything is going. I also want to use this as a moment to tell people that if you have been considering maybe doing an online business, but you have been feeling really insecure about that decision, to not feel insecure about it, because there's going to be room for you. So if you are someone that was thinking, well, I sense everybody's going to be trying to do online businesses, or I'm hearing everybody talk about it, there's going to be too much competition, there's not going to be enough room for me, how am I going to make a niche for myself, how are people going to find me? Don't worry about that, because everything is going to be online, right? Everything is going to be online. So it's not going to be a situation where you're going to be squeezed out or it's going to be too many people in your niche. Everything is going online, and so you rightfully have a place there as well. So don't be too concerned about what other people are doing and whether or not it's going to affect your chances, because it's not going to affect your chances. Another thing is aliens. I'm going to keep saying this. Aliens, 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 aliens. As everything implodes, really keep your eyes out for aliens, for news stories that are quickly buried in the rubble and in the debris of like the world blowing up, okay? Because it's going to be a thing. Specifically look out for something about the Galactic Federation. You're going to have whistleblowers about something specifically called the Galactic Federation, okay? And I do recall last year there was one whistleblower that I knew of that specifically mentioned the Galactic Federation, but you're going to have more people talking about the Galactic Federation, and people are going to try to bury those news stories. And if those news stories don't get buried, then people are going to immediately discredit those people and try to call them wacky or crazy or old or senile or whatever. Start looking out for the Galactic Federation, because people are going to start talking about the Galactic Federation. Also, start looking out about the Galactic Federation on YouTube, okay? You're gonna start seeing a lot of spiritual YouTubers that are gonna start coming out, talking to you about the Galactic Federation, talking to you about contact from the Galactic Federation. Look out from that as well. Many whistleblowers. Okay, and food scarcity. This is an important one. We're going to have a very bad food problem. And I'm not talking about like countries that are in the Caribbean, right? You know, they had some bad storms, so a lot of the crops got wiped out. I'm talking about just food scarcity, as in there is none. All right. And we're also going to be dealing with food scarcity in like countries that you would think are first world countries that you wouldn't expect to have this problem. This is going to be an issue that's going to be quote unquote snuck up on us. It's going to sneak up on us, and this is going to be in quotation marks, meaning the powers that be always know. They just don't tell you or me about it, right? So it's going to appear as if it's snuck up on us. All of a sudden, people are going to be talking about there's no food. Food scarcity is going to be a really big problem. Also, look out for water being a big problem, either scarcity or it's just not purified. So the water that is available isn't drinkable water. That's going to be a thing as well. So what I can say about the food scarcity and like the shortage of water, if you go to the store, right, and you see cases of water and it's like buy one, get one free, get the case free, right? And I'm saying this specifically this way because I'm the type of person that when I see buy one, get one free, I buy one of them, because in the US, buy one, get one free means that one is half off. That doesn't mean the same thing in other countries, right? In other countries, buy one, get one free means you get to buy one and get the other one free or something, like, you know what I mean? Or if you only buy like one of them, then you got to pay full price. It depends. Like the terms and the conditions changes per country. But like in the US, buy one, get one free means that if you get one of them, it's half off. So I'm that cheap person that just gets the one. If you see something buy one, get one free, and it's water, and it's cases of water, consider getting both cases of water and then just slowly stacking it. I don't see it being a situation now that you have the awareness where you have to go mad dash out and try to get all these things. It doesn't need to be like a toilet paper issue, but now that you have the awareness, allow yourself to start going and stacking up on things. If you have the means and the space, consider getting certain canned goods that you can eat, right? Worst case scenario is that we get to a point where you figure out you don't need them and then you have the ability to donate them or share them, but really start looking at your resources that you have as reserves, okay? Also, I need you guys to start collecting seeds. And if you're going to have the seeds for a while, consider freezing the seeds. Now, be mindful of what kind of seeds they are. Do some research, because if you put them in like a regular freezer, it may not freeze right. You could damage the seed or whatever, but start collecting seeds. Start collecting like produce, like tomatoes and different things like that. Just start collecting seed packets. If you are someone that lives in a flat, or if you live in an apartment and you don't have a garden space or a green space where you can plant food, collect the seeds anyway. You just need one packet of tomatoes, you need one packet of spinach, just collect the seeds, right? Have some seeds. In the US, you can buy seeds from the Dollar Tree for $1 a packet. Just get you some packet of seeds, because it could very well reach a place where at some point in time, even if it's not in 2021, where you may have to start growing your own food, or there may be a lack of produce or produce shortages and you may need that particular food. Make sure you start doing that. Also, make sure you start building your reserves of vitamins. Okay, so specifically, I want you to look at vitamin D3. You're not going outside. That's dead. All of this, maybe we can return back to 2021. No, COVID is not over. 2023, COVID is not over. Okay, so make sure specifically that you're looking at your D3. You're not getting what you need from the sun. Make sure it's got high IUs. Okay, also any other multivitamin that you know for your body that you need, start stocking up on. Now, vitamins can get expensive. If you are not in a position where you are financially in a position in order to start stocking up on vitamins, to start turning to your dollar stores. In the US, you can get vitamins from the Dollar Tree. The Dollar Tree usually has all the vitamins that you can think of. They're not going to be the yummy gummy vitamins, okay, but they're vitamins nonetheless, and you need them. Start stocking up on your vitamins, okay? The reason for this is because we're at a point now where there are no hospital beds. I can't speak for other countries, but in the US, we have run out of hospital beds. ICU, the intensive care unit, no longer has beds. There's no longer room. People are going to die, okay? So this is bringing me to another sense that the death toll of people that don't have COVID, but couldn't get care due to facilities being overpopulated by COVID patients is going to rise. So people that did not have to die are now going to die. That number is going to go up. And so what you need to do is just be extra diligent about your health. Going to a doctor is going to get difficult. Seeing a nurse is going to get difficult unless you have something that could be taken care of over a telehealth visit or calling them on the phone. But going physically in person is going to be difficult. So you want to start making sure that you start reading up on home remedies, how to take care of yourself, how to heal yourself. The thing is, the earth is neutralizing. It actually has everything that we need to heal self and to heal the body, all the nutrients that we need to heal self and heal the body. This is why there's a push for going towards a vegan diet or trying to become primarily plant-based, because all the nutrients that you need to properly alkalize your body and neutralize your body is in those foods. And this is also part of me saying, if you have the opportunity, the financial opportunity to start kind of slowly building up your reserves of vitamins, then do that. And I say slowly because at least in the US and a lot of places, there's actually a limit on the amount of vitamins that you can actually buy at one time because of COVID. So it's going to have to be something where it's kind of a slow build. Also, when it comes to COVID and I gotta be honest, there's more there that they're not telling us. And I sense that I wouldn't be surprised if there's more variants. I wouldn't be surprised at all than what we know of. You know, we know there's one variant that came out of the UK, but I really wouldn't be surprised if there's more than that. And that all that information just hasn't come out yet, or they don't know, or whatever. So that becomes a thing. Don't be shocked. And there's also going to be more kind of government revolutions that you're going to see taking place all over the world. The US is actually going to have a really bad problem, I think. I don't feel that it's going to be something that Biden is going to have the ability to fix even as a new president. Actually, what I'm sensing is that like they have an idea of kind of how bad it is going in after Trump, meaning feeling like how many things he may have messed up or different things like that. But I sense that every day now that they're in office, once they transition into office, it's going to be every day of like learning new things. Like every day they're going to be like, is this bad? Like we knew it was bad, but is this bad? Like this bad? It's going to be a situation where it's worse than what they had originally thought that it was. And so we're actually going to be watching that wake play itself out. And I also wouldn't be surprised if it starts causing like health problems of like top aides and like top officials in the White House, and just simply due to the overwhelming amount of stress and that they're experiencing, because so many people are unhappy with the government, and that's going to be really, really hard on people that work in politics. I sense it's going to become a field where all of a sudden it's going to be a very dangerous field to work in. So people that are like high level officials, you know, you kind of go into the role understanding that people aren't going to like you. They're going to give you a hard time, that it could potentially be dangerous. That's why they have security teams. But it's going to be to the point where it's going to billow out in a sense of people that work on the ground in politics. That's just their field. That's their career path, are going to be seeing increased levels of danger as well, just because they happen to be affiliated through job, right? And so that's going to be something to look out for towards as well. And I don't know, and it's just something that I'm like feeling when it comes to Kamala. I just feel like there's going to be like a rise in power there, or some kind of like or she's just gonna take like she's and maybe it's in comparison to the Trump Pence, where maybe it's gonna look like she's doing more than Pence did, or maybe it's gonna look like she's more involved than Pence was involved, or like or maybe she is more vocal than previous vice presidents have been in the past, or something like that. But there's gonna be like some there's gonna be like some Harris like rise of like power of she's just going to appear more powerful than what we would normally think a vice president would be. So that's going to be quite interesting as well. So look out for that. Going back to everything kind of moving online and everything being digital, I don't know why I sense this. This is actually really weird for me, but I do feel that there will be some sort of like internet shutdown. I don't know if it's going to be in the United States. I don't know if it's going to be out east. I couldn't tell you how long it's going to be for, but I just sense that there's going to be some type of shutdown. Whether it's shutdown because it happened on accident and it's like a massive blackout, I don't know. Whether it's a shutdown because the governments are trying to just shut people up. Maybe they're talking too much. Maybe social media is getting out of hand. I don't know. If it's just a situation where governments are just trying to come in and regulate more heavily, I don't know. But I do sense that there's going to be a situation where the internet is just not going to be functioning. And I don't know if that's a global thing or if that's a regional thing. I don't know. But there's going to be an issue with the internet. Final thing, and this is going to be like so far left, but I was thinking, and I realized I had not said this in my previous prediction video. We are moving into a time where astrologers are going to start seeing a lot of business, actually. And so if you're somebody that's interested in astrology or wanting to learn astrology or wanted to become an astrologer at some point in time, there's going to be a big boom in astrology. At first, it's going to look like it's trending. Like kind of right now, it looks like it's a bit of a trend, but there's going to be a moment where it looks like it's trending, right? Like it's a part of like pop culture type feeling. And it's going to feel very temporary because it's going to feel like that pop culture trend vibe, but it's going to actually stick around for a very long time because Aquarius also governs astrology. And because we are now in the age of Aquarius, it's going to be here and it's here to stay. People are going to be very interested in astrology. Men have a tendency to be turned off by astrology, and they have a tendency to be turned off by women talking about astrology. But you're also going to notice that men are going to kind of come into it more and kind of be more open and more inviting and more inquisitive and have a little bit more questions that have to do with astrology. But you're just gonna start noticing it. It's not gonna be something that's gonna happen right away, ladies. Okay, but you're gonna be noticing people are gonna be opening up to it. They're gonna have a curiosity of kind of what's going on in the stars. Now, the people that are opening up to it are gonna be people that chose which side they are on in terms of the split. People that have chosen not to ascend to the 5D are not part of who I'm talking to, right? None of this really applies to them because they're gonna be so stuck in a 3D that that's just where they are, and we have to move on. They're not going to have the awareness level for any of this stuff. But people that have chosen to go towards the path of 5D, even if they are completely unaware of it, even if they have not activated yet, even if they are not going to activate in this lifetime, you're going to notice that they're going to be a lot more curious about it. Also, if this is something that you haven't actually really seriously wanting to pursue, then you will actually have the ability to do business in it, make money off of it, because again, money is going to be easier made online. And this is also not a feeling that I feel like you have to rush to get to. Don't feel like, oh my God, like there's this window of opportunity, I need to do it now. That's not the case at all, because astrology is kind of stick. However, if you want to be the part of the person writing that new wave in, right, then you are more than welcome to do that. So I have now run out of my notes, and I'm done lecturing. And I hope none of this scared you too bad, but I really felt compelled to say this. I also have no idea if it's going to affect how long this video stays up or if it's going to get taken down. I have no idea. So if you've watched it early, congratulations. And if this video is somehow up in 2 years and you watch it then I guess I don't know. I guess no one watched it from YouTube. I guess I made it through the algorithm. I have absolutely no idea. But this is going to end the video. Before I let you go, make sure you check the description box below, get in touch, and I will see you all soon.